Are you tired of caring about what other people think? And are you finally ready to start living your life for you? If so, you've come to the right place, because this video is all about how to stop caring about what other people think and how to let go of their opinions. Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Mariam, and I'm going to share 3 ways that you can use to help you stop caring about what other people think. In order to live the life that you want and aspire to have, you have to live for yourself and not for others. But before you can just stop caring about what other people think, you have to first understand why you care about what other people think so much and why other people's opinions matter so much to you. When you understand the root cause behind why you feel the way that you feel and why you are the way that you are, it makes the process of overcoming it and growing from it so much easier. You can just say to yourself, you know what, I'm going to just stop caring about what anybody thinks starting today. And maybe you will for a little bit, but it will only last so long before you start falling back into the old habits of really relying on other people's opinions and caring so much about what they think. But when you understand yourself and really do the work to figure yourself out, it makes it easier to then really apply how to stop caring about what other people think and stick with it and have it be a long-term thing versus a short-term thing. So take a little bit of time to really understand yourself. Do you care so much about what other people think because maybe you fear rejection? Maybe that stems from a fear of abandonment, and maybe you want to feel so accepted by people. But then ask yourself, why do you feel like you need to be so accepted by everyone? We all want to be accepted. It's perfectly normal. It's a part of being a human. But there's a difference between, wanting to be accepted, but then needing to be accepted all the time. When you rely on other people's opinion and you rely on other people's acceptance and rely on what they think about you, you're not really going to move very far in life. You're going to feel stuck because you're going to be limited to what other people think about you. And you're not going to have a fulfilling life. You're not going to be happy. You're not going to be living for yourself. So really try to work on yourself and figure out the reason for why you need this acceptance, why you feel like you really need other people's opinions and you care so much about what they think. Once you've done the work to really get to know yourself and figure yourself out and understand why you care so much about what other people think, you can then begin to apply these steps a lot easier. The first step is to identify your values. What are your values? What are you passionate about? What's important to you? Ask yourself, does the person that you're listening to align with your values and your goals? If the answer is no, then it's not very relevant. We get so caught up in society and what other people think that we neglect to really get to know ourselves on a deep level. We think we know who we are, but we don't, which is why taking the time to figure out what your values are is so important. And once you figure out those values, you start living by them. And by living true to your values, other people's opinions won't really matter as much anymore because you know you're living true to yourself. It doesn't really matter what anybody thinks at that point. Your values and your beliefs are what make up who you are. And by living true to your values and your beliefs, you start to become more confident. And by becoming more confident, you don't really care so much about what other people think anymore, and their opinions don't really matter that much to you anymore. Number 2, learn to not take anything personally. People are going to have their own opinions based on their own perceptions. As humans, we're all projecting our own thoughts, our opinions, and even our insecurities without even realizing it based on our own personal experiences in life. And when you realize this and when you start to understand that people's opinions are just based on their own perspective and their own perception and their own experiences, it starts to feel irrelevant to you. You're going to realize that it doesn't really apply to you. And that makes it easier to not take things personally. You also shouldn't take things personally because most of the time, someone else's opinion of you has nothing to do with you. People do project their insecurities subconsciously. Sometimes they're not even aware of it. You don't know what someone is going through on the inside or what path they're on in life. So them giving you their opinion most of the time has nothing to do with you and everything that they're still going through internally. Number 3, learn to validate yourself. You have to learn to start trusting your own opinion and not relying on someone else for their opinion. Once you start relying on someone else, you become dependent on them. And once you become dependent on other people, you're never going to grow. You're going to be stuck. You're never going to know what your true potential is because you're going to be so afraid to step outside of your comfort zone and step outside of your box. Not everyone is going to agree with you, and that's okay. And you don't always have to explain yourself. At the end of the day, you have nothing to prove to anybody. It's like I said before, everybody's on their own path in life and everybody gives their opinion based on their own perception. Find your inner voice and listen to it. What do you want? What's your opinion? The more you practice self-validation, the stronger your inner voice becomes. And it'll be easier to listen to it, and it'll be easier to follow it. Because at the end of the day, nobody knows you as well as you know you. Now, some people give their opinion really out of love. Like your parents, for example, they want what's best for you. Sometimes your parents want you to pick a certain career, become a doctor or a lawyer, something that makes a lot of money. But maybe your parents want that for you because they grew up in poverty. Maybe they didn't have much growing up. So they want a better life for you than what they had for themselves. So this is an example of when someone's opinion is coming completely out of love. But just because it's coming out of love doesn't mean that it's the right thing for you. Maybe being a doctor or a lawyer isn't something that's going to make you happy. We only have this one life. Why are we going to spend it doing something that is not truly making us happy? You need to be able to stand up for yourself and say your opinion. Say what's going to make you happy. Validate yourself. You might not want to work for someone. Maybe working for someone isn't going to make you happy. Maybe you want to run your own business and be your own boss. Maybe you like to express yourself through writing, and writing is your passion, and you prefer to become an author and publish a book. The more you learn to self-validate, the less of an effect other people's opinions are going to have on you. At the end of the day, you don't want to live your life and then have any regrets. You don't want to say, I wish I took this risk. I wish I didn't listen to that person. I wish I did this instead. You don't want to feel like you missed out on anything. So to quickly recap, in order to stop caring about what other people think and to start living for yourself, number 1 is identify your values and live by them. Number 2, don't take anything personally. And number 3, learn to validate yourself, because you'll end up being so much happier for it. And that's it for this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. If you're looking for other similar content, I did link a few of my other videos in the description box below, so go ahead and check them out. If you have any topics you want me to discuss for the future, leave them in the comments section below and I'll be sure to read it. And thank you guys for watching.